Good morning, bookie bashes, run line smashes, total hustlers, dog line crushes. This is the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel, and this is Light It Up with your boy Don Rici here, and my partner Nolly Knowles will be here in a few seconds. I'll tell you, it's Tuesday, about 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday morning, and we have two great baseball games today. This is not about NHL today. It is not about preseason NBA. It's not about Russian soccer. And I don't want to hear it today. These are two great games. We have a sweep game, a closeout game with the Nationals and the Cardinals tonight. But before we start that game, we have at 4 o'clock the first game in New York at the Bronx Zoo. Yankees Astros. That should be such a great game. But before we get into all that, we can't do this without my partner in crime. Welcome in, Nolly. What's happening today?
Hey, what's going on, Dom? Just like you said it, man, it's a great day for some MLB. I'm super excited. We got some great matchups today, and I can't wait.
Me too. I'll tell you, it's been great. This baseball's been all we've been asking for, huh, Nolly? Unbelievable. Last night, a game between the Nationals and the Cardinals. What a game that was. I'll tell you, I thought it was for sure was going to be the Cardinals night. I thought for sure if they were going to get a game, it was going to be last night. And I think that's the game they needed to get if they were going to climb back into the series. And they didn't. Their bat stayed cold. The Nationals pitching has just been on fire. And now we have a game to sweep today. What did you think about last night's game?
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. I did not expect that. I didn't expect anybody to be able to get to Flaherty. He's been lights out. He's been one of the best pitchers in MLB in the second half, and that was pretty surprising. They continue to stay hot over there with the Nationals. They're a scrappy team, and now they're catching fire. Their lineup is coming alive. It looks like their whole lineup came alive last night. And like you said, man, these Cardinals offensive bats, they're dead cold. They're ice cold. They're 11 hits in 3 games. It's the lowest total ever in a championship series. That's the second lowest total ever in the playoffs. And that says something a lot. They look like they were scoring a lot of runs in the last series, but maybe they used them all up in that first inning against the Braves, it looks like.
It sure does. It sure does. I'll tell you, I remember talking about when the game got later in the series, how the Cardinals and the Braves both had stranded over 30 runners each team, and they just weren't getting guys in. And it seems that trend is continuing. The Cardinals cannot get anybody in. They get runners in scoring position. They cannot score. I mean, last night again, they had 1 run, 7 hits, 1 run. And our boy Strasburg, I'll tell you, again, I thought he might have got touched last night, and boy, was I wrong. 12 strikeouts, 7 innings. What a performance.
Oh, yeah, Strasburg's been lights out. He's been phenomenal throughout, his whole career in the playoffs, and especially this one in particular. He smells it. He wants it bad, and we talked about it earlier. You know, the coach went out there, took the trainer out there after he grabbed his hamstring. He's like, yeah, I just cramped up. I always cramp up. And he's like, I'm not coming out of this game. I'm finished.
You got to love that.
You know, and yeah, you got to love it. You know, that shows the intensity he's bringing. And, you know, you got a guy like Scherzer also that's just the same, you know. So they're feeding off each other. That's what they're all talking about. Corbin talked about it. Who's going today? He talked about it. They're all feeding off each other. They're all talking to each other how to attack these batters. And different strategies on how to go about it, and it's they're helping each other out, and it looks like they're just trying to one up each other, you know. But yeah, Strasburg was amazing, but the whole 3 guys, you know, Sanchez, Scherzer, and now him, they've been phenomenal. You got 21 and 2/3 innings from these starters, 0 earned runs. You know, that's amazing, especially in the series.
Yes, it sure is. I tell you, while we're on the Nationals, we could just keep on talking about them. I mean, tonight they're going for a sweep, and I think their whole strategy now is got to be. Is it? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe their strategy shouldn't be different, because it is a sweep game. But they have Corbin starting, So what do? You have Corbin starting. Let's just say a theory that Cardinals get to him early. Do you go to your bullpen, or do you just pull out all the stops? Go with Sanchez, who hasn't pitched since Friday night. Go with if you want to go with Scherzer, he hasn't pitched since the Saturday night or Sunday night. Saturday night. What do you do? Or do you go to your bullpen? It's an interesting theory.
Yeah, I think it's definitely interesting, but it's something that even Scherzer talked about. You can't attack this like a 5-game series.
Right.
But the tricky thing is you're 1 win away, so do you go for it all today? Especially if you go down early? I think not. I think you got to try to lean on that bullpen. You talked about it. They're rested, and maybe you got to lean on them, especially here in these 7 games. Hopefully those bats still come alive for you late, and which I think you still have the possibility. Those bats are hot. Nationals bats are hot, and I don't think you can try to grab a Scherzer. Maybe you want to save those guys for later starts.
Yeah, I agree. If it's now, let's say it's a different scenario where it's the 7th inning, it's 2-2, and that they have to pull the pitcher. What do you do then? Then do you go with your big guns? Then do you go back with a Scherzer to try to close it out, or you're ahead 3-2 or something like that? That'll make a difference. And maybe you don't go to your bullpen. Maybe you go for the sweep, I guess, at that point. But like you were saying, listen, their bullpen, without their starters being that bullpen, have to win something along the lines here. If they're going to win this series and they're going to win a World Series, that bullpen's going to have to produce sooner or later. So I guess we'll see if it's going to be today or not. But that's the stuff I love about the playoffs, just all the different things that go on that wouldn't go on during a regular series or during the regular season. And tonight we'll keep on going on tonight. You got Hudson against Corbin. The line opened up this morning at 152. Then I noticed Penny went right to 159. I didn't look at the latest line right now, but and then the total is 7.5. Juice to the over at like minus 115. So that's what's going on tonight with that game. Do you have any thoughts about how that game's going to progress tonight?
I've been going back and forth on that game. There's a lot of things to look at. The 2 losses that the Nationals have had in this postseason have both come by the hand of Corbin. One in relief against the Dodgers, and the other one as a starter. And he got lit up against the Dodgers. He gave up 6 runs, but he was able to bounce back in his last 2 appearances. He's made 4 total appearances, only 1 start. But I think the guy's a good starter. He faced the St. Louis team twice. They got to him the first time around. But that was a long time ago. That was in April, I believe. And then he faced them in September. Was able to get 5 hits, 0 earned runs, and 11 strikeouts, a season high. So he's able to have a good start, but this is a tough spot. You got St. Louis with their backs on the wall, and they're typically, I guess, as a franchise, they're good when elimination games. But you got the guy that's had the most success against Corbin is Dexter Fowler, and he's 6 of 19 against him, but he's ice cold in these playoffs. He's 233. 0.61 batting average this playoff.
Yeah.
You got Cardinal fans that want him out of the lineup. And rightfully so. He hasn't produced anything. Maybe there is somebody else that can. But if he can't produce, today's the day to do it against Corbin. And then you got Hudson going on the other side. You got this rookie starter, which he's only had 1 postseason start.
I'm looking at that.
He was against the Braves, 5 hits, 4 runs, but only 1 earned run. So he had a decent start. He's had a good season. He's looked good all year, but this is a big stage. It's kind of hard. I've been going back and forth on what's going to happen here. I see the possibility of runs, but it's hard for me to trust that offense over there with the Cardinals. It's really, really tough. These starters for the Nationals, they're looking to compete, I guess, against each other, trying to one-up each other because they're not getting much competition from the Cardinals, So it's tough for me to make a call, and I'm going to stay off of this game.
For me, have a lean to this over. I just think there's going to be runs scored. I think the Cardinals are going to have to swing early. Last night they were trying to get those pitch counts up. They can't do that today. And Corbin throws strikes. You know, they obviously they're gonna have to try to get an early lead. I don't think come from behind is not in their cards. No pun intended. I see here Corbin 8 innings pitched, 7 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned runs. He's been as good as that pitching staff has been. He's been, I guess, the bottom of the totem pole after Sanchez, who usually would be the bottom of that four guys, has really pitched great. So tonight's game, like you, I'm up in the air again. Pushed gun to head. I would go with the over. I would think, which is 7.5 still. But like you say, I have the Nationals in the postseason to win the this championship round. So. And last night I took a split with the taking the Cardinals and taking the over. So I'll probably just leave the game alone and see what happens. But before that, we have a real great game to talk about. 4 o'clock, the game I think everybody's really waiting for. The two powerhouses of baseball this year, really. The Astros with Derek Cole. What a great pitcher this kid is. He's just been unbelievable against Severino. And they held Severino back to pitch this game today. They wanted him to open up, and they want him to pitch a Game 7 if there's a Game 7. And that's why Severino's pitching today. And we have a great matchup, Nolly. What do you think about this game?
Oh, man, I'm really excited about this matchup. I've been excited about it, and it's living up to expectations. It was a great game, too. Correa took over. He shined in Game 2 as opposed to Torres in Game 1. I mean, that was phenomenal what the kid was able to do. I think it was amazing. And seeing what Correa was able to do and gunning the guy out at home and then coming up with that big home run late in extra innings. So I'm excited to keep seeing. We got 2 great lineups, 2 great starters with 2 great bullpens. I'm excited, like the great Bank said, let's play 2, because I'm really excited. You got Severino coming in, and that guy's he's no rookie. He's 25 years old. He's already had 4 years of experience. He's got a lot of postseason experience. He's pitched 2 wild card games for these Yankees, so they trust him, and they trust him a lot more now. He didn't get the season he wanted. He had some rotator cuff injuries to deal with, but he came back strong. He looked good against the Twins. Was able to get out of a couple jams, a bases loaded jam. And I thought that was big for his psyche. He's a big starter. The Yankees are going to need him if they want to win this thing. And I think he's poised for a good start. I think he's a really good pitcher. He's got good stuff, And on the other side, there's no secret to Cole. We've talked about his dominance, man. It's amazing to watch, and I love to see it. I love seeing pitching. It's just as much as some offense, That long ball looks just as good as a crazy strikeout to me when a guy is looking what we call buckle. He's buckling his knees. I love seeing that as well. So I love what Garrett Cole is doing, and I expect him to continue his dominance here. Good pitching beats good hitting, and that's what I think. That's what we're going to continue to see here. A lot of these guys haven't faced him too much, and then Severino, same thing. And I think like you said, they wanted him to pitch at home. He pitches a lot. He pitches well at home, and I expect him to do well today. I'm expecting some low totals early.
Severino has 8 postseason starts, man. That's 8 postseason starts. He's 1-2, 5.33 ERA. The Astros actually lost. That's right. They lost all 3 of their games at Yankee Stadium in 2000. Not last year, 17. Yeah. Matter of fact, in the AC and in the ALCS, right? Yes. Yeah, it was the Astros Yankees, and the Yankees came through. I'll tell you, the Yankees been tough this year at home. I don't really go into too much of the regular season stats and stuff during postseason, but the Yankees were 57-24 this year at home. That's something. They play good in that park, and I'll tell you that right field porch, which we've talked about before, is easy to get to, man. Citi Field has it, Yankee Stadium has it. I don't know what it is in New York, but sometimes that little porch could kill an in a heartbeat.
No, I definitely agree with that. That's something that a bit of a concern. But the season that Garrett Cole's having, that's what
Oh yeah,
I'm leaning on, especially early in the game. I don't expect them to just come out and hit him right away. The guy's got some crazy stuff right now. He's on fire. He says he's going to approach it the same way as anything else. He knows it's going to be a dogfight. He's ready for this big stage. And the crazy run that he's been on, it, like I mentioned before, is like that Bumgarner run, and I expect him to continue. He's in the zone right now.
yeah. See, the Astros are kind of like a tale of two teams, though. I mean, like you say about Cole, he won his last 15 starts. He won 7 away, 8 at home. So he's good no matter where he pitches. There's no bias on the road or not. But the Astros, they've only had 22 runs in the last 7 playoff games. And that's what a little bit surprising to me. I mean, I know they've been going up against some good pitching, but, Tampa Bay really Tampa Bay did a little number on Houston. I'll tell you, if Houston ends up losing this series, it could be attributed to Tampa Bay holding them on into a 5-game series. They did play two games more than the Yankees. And, I don't know. There's something in the back of my head that just thinks – my heart thinks that the Yankees could actually pull this out today, and my head thinks that the Astros on paper should win this game. So it's like you said, it's a great game to watch. It's something that I can't wait for. I did jump on the first 5 under 4. I jumped on it right away this morning, and it went right to 3.5. I guess I don't know if it stayed there at 3.5, but it did drop. And I took the under 7.5 for the game. I just think it's going to be one of those type of games. The line did open up at Houston minus 155. And I'm looking now, Penny has it at 152, 5 dimes 148. So the line didn't really move too much. And the total, I guess, is, still 7.5 minus 115 used to the under across the board. So it's a 4:00 game, man. I hope everybody's into watching this game because, first of all, the 2 pitches should be some duel, especially the first few innings. I would almost recommend taking the 3.5 under the first 5. I mean, I wouldn't really be scared of taking it. If you believe in the 4, it's playoffs. You got to take the 3.5. I mean, the difference is a push. I know that could be a big difference, but I wouldn't be scared off it only because I had half a run. A 3, maybe. But how do you feel about this first 5 under, Nolly? I know yesterday neither one of us took it. It was the first time we stayed off that bet since the wild card started. And we've been real successful with it. But what do you think about that today? First 5 on the Yankees. 3.5 now.
Yeah, I saw that there were some 4s early. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it. I took the 3.5.
Okay, good.
Same thing like what you're saying. It is a little bit dicey being that we might not be able to get that push. But if you like the 4, you somewhat like the 3.5. I know that there is a difference. There is a big difference, actually.
Long term, yes.
But with these pitchers and what I've seen out of these guys and what I expect to see, there's no reason why I can't take this. The way Cole's been pitching, and what you talked about it right there, these Houston bats have been cold this postseason. And maybe Tampa did find some kind of strategy. It's what the Yankees deployed in Game 2. They didn't let Paxton just stay out there. They yanked them, and they went with 8 different relievers out of the bullpen. People talk about maybe that's a factor here today, but the one-day arrest is big. You hear with relievers, the big thing is going on back-to-back days, and the fact that they're not they'll be able to be all right. With one-day rest, I believe everybody will be available. But early in this game, I'm going to attack it. I like the 3.5, and I might jump on the 7.5 as well because I like these bullpens. So if I like the total low early, I gotta like it late. So I think that correlate.
Yeah, and reading the lines, I mean, it could possibly jump down to 7. So if you're going to take it, I would think it's time now to take it. Would be now. And still, I don't think it's going to go to 8. That's for sure. It'll stay at the 7.5 or go to 7. So I would think that's the time. But here, while we still have a few minutes left, there is a little interesting thing that could pop up. The weather report for tomorrow in New York is talking rain. Actually, talking rain all day, like it could possibly be a rain out, which it would have to rain a lot for them to rain. I mean, the Yankees don't like raining out games anyhow. You know, they like to suck that last penny out of everybody, the old Yankee way. But don't let me get off on a tangent about that. But it could be a rain out. Now, let's just say, for instance, there is a rain out tomorrow. I do think that really affects the series, because if that happens, then there's going to be a game on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This game's scheduled right now. This game's scheduled right through with an off day on the 18th. With an off day being Saturday, today's the 15th. So the way they have it scheduled now is there would be a game the 15th, 16th, 17th, off on the 18th, game 19th and 20th for 6 and 7. So if there's a rain out tomorrow, now they're going to bunch all those games together, and I guess have the a travel day, a game and travel day at the same time. Maybe move a time slot up or something. So what do you think about that? If there's a rain out tomorrow, how do you think that affects the game? Well, does it?
Yeah, I definitely think it does, because the thing I was concerned about, or not necessarily concerned about, but I couldn't really figure out what the Yankees are going to do for their fourth game starter. Who are they going to go with? Are they going to go with the bullpen like we talked about?
That's
Bullpen by committee. So if they push that game a day back, does that now reset your starting rotation? So now are you going back with Tanaka so you could go with start off from the top,
Right.
And I think why not? It gives the opportunity to everybody pitch on regular rest, and those are the guys you want to go with. Those are the guys that you want to lean on. It's obvious that's what they want. And the same thing goes for the other side. But on the other side, to me, it looked like they were already going 3-man rotation.
Yeah.
So, then you haven't seen anybody else start. And I don't expect anything different. If they want to lean on those three guys, they're paying them the big bucks, and they're going to lean on them. And that helps them out as well. So who gets the advantage? I'm not sure. It might be the Yankees with that bullpen, because they use those 8 guys. Little extra day of rest for the bullpen. They could deploy that Tampa Bay Rays strategy.
Unbelievable. I was just going to say that. Unbelievable. Tampa Bay has have their hands into changing the way baseball pitching. There's never been that. They used to have 4 and 5 starters in these playoffs. 7 games, right? You would have a 5th starter. You would have a guy out of the bullpen as a starter. It's amazing. But you just love how they did that. But as far as the Yankees, what I'm hearing, I'm sorry to cut you off. But what I'm hearing on New York radio and stuff is the Yankees were set to have that as a bullpen game tomorrow. We know they kept Sabathia out of the last round because of his shoulder. So he's rested, which is always a two-edged sword. Is too much rest or not? But the guy's shoulder hurt, so he needed the rest. And he's an experienced guy, Sabathia. So I don't know. Did the Yankees start Sabathia? Sabathia and Happ are their 2 long-term, long-inning relievers. So, what do you do? Do they start Sabathia and then go to Happ, or see if Sabathia go 4 innings, then they could just go to their bullpen? I don't know. To me personally, I don't trust Happ. I don't like him. I never liked him. I think him giving up that home run in the 11th inning the other day was huge. I think that was a golden opportunity that the Yankees blew. Imagine they would have came in today up 2-0. That just sets the cards up for them, man. And because of that, this could be a 6-7 game series, which I would love. But that's it. I mean, I guess we'll see tomorrow if it rains or not. But even if it doesn't rain, they're going to still have a bullpen game. So regardless, they're still going to be starting either Sabathia or Happ, I would assume. Who else could they start, right?
No, definitely. I agree with what you're saying. And what we're talking about with the Rays, the Houston coach kept alluding to it, interview after interview, talking about how it was a pest, how it was an issue, so it's something that I was getting to those guys. Only seeing the lineup one time through. It's a strategy. The stats are there. The more you see a pitcher, the more you're going to hit them. So nowadays, with all the sabermetrics, we're relying on these stats. In the long run, if you play by these stats, they'll pay out. That's the strategy, and it worked. It worked. It kept them in the game. They had a lesser lineup, and they were able to compete. That's how they win. And maybe the Yankees are able to be successful with it because they probably have the better bullpen. So we'll see. It'd be
Yeah, we'll
interesting
see
to
what
see.
happens. It's an interesting theory. I mean, just think about it. If you're facing your first time at bat, you're facing a predominantly fastball pitcher. Then the next time at bat, you have a guy come in that like a Jason Vargas who throws that slow junk. Your
No,
time is going
exactly.
to be all off, and then you go to a young gun out of the bullpen throwing 98 fastballs again. You're all over the place as a batter, so
Yeah.
you can see why the theory works, But I'll tell you, the only other thing I was concerned about as far as the Yankees and the Astros and Derek Cole, I was just trying to find something that we could go against this kid, and there really isn't anything. The only thing I could think about is that the Astros and he has pitched, a little bit more than the Yankees. They played 2 more games because of Tampa. He pitched some extra innings. And does his arm get tired sooner or later? Is this going to be an issue coming into the World Series if they do pull this out? It's something I think about, but I guess in reality, until Cole proves us different, I guess we can't find any faults in him, huh?
No, I just like what you said, I just can't, his dominance continues, 10 strikeouts a game. Like, I mean, it's not nothing, this is a huge stage, and for him to continue it, to me, that tells me that he's gonna keep rolling, or at least I think so, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you, they had some metrics on his last outing. They said his 4-seam fastball has been between 97 and 100 miles an hour. His last start. So that's after pitching all year long. His slider, 89 mile an hour of average. His curveball at 82. So you got a guy that can throw the heat at 97, 98, and then come back with an 82 mile an hour curveball.
Yeah,
all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what you call when you like to say the knee buckler. That's when you get that knee buckler, right?
Exactly.
That low slider. It goes into the dirt.
Yeah, it makes it look like a fastball. He's got that great arm slot.
Man.
Makes it look exactly the same, and that's what he's great at. That's what they perfect over there. They perfect the craft over there at Houston, and they got these guys succeeding like they haven't before in their career. Revitalizing their career over there. That's a great thing that they're doing with the pitching staff, and it's great to see it. I love pitching. I love defense. I love the unders.
Yeah, me too. I tell you, same in football. I don't mind those defensive games, low-scoring defensive games. I mind when they're sloppy, but when they're good defensive games, and I love those. I love that. And same in baseball. I'll tell you, nothing like it. But to me, I don't want to see. I don't want to see 8 to 7, Major League Baseball games all the time. I really don't. Those 3-2 games are great. Those 5-4 games are great.
Yeah.
So. All right, man, that's great, Nolly. So we're into the championship round now. We have 2 games today, 2 great games today. We have an opening game in New York, the Yankee Stadium. We know that place will be rocked. My Yankee fans are going nuts around here. I know our friend Joey Works is one of the biggest Yankee fans we know of in the low bed community. I know he's excited for today, and I know all of my Yankee fans. My whole family is full of Yankee fans. I'm the outcast as a Met fan, but I've always been a good outcast. I play that role better. But yes, we have those 2 games, and then of course tonight we got the Nats going for a sweep against the Cardinals. It is just amazing what they've done. The hottest team in baseball since the beginning of September. So, Nolly, before we get out of here, give me an official play for Nolly Knows.
My official play, I'll go ahead and take that Houston, New York Yankees first 5 under 3.5. That's my strategy. That's what I like. A little lower than what I would like, but I love these pitchers, man.
Yeah, and my official play is also I got the 4. I got up early, got the 4 for the first 5, and I also did take the 7.5 for the full game. I did not make a play yet on this Nationals game. If I had to take a play right now, I would take the over 7.5, but I haven't done it yet. So we'll see what happens. I'll tweet it out. My Twitter is Don Rici at Dom541. Nolly, your Twitter is?
It's at Nolly562.
562. You can play that number. Play that number. Dollar straight, dollar box. 562. You'll hit that. You'll hit that sucker. But so we'll see what happens the next couple of days. We'll try it maybe on the weekend. We'll have another game. We'll see if these series what happens with these two series. Listen, it's baseball. You never know. We still might be talking about the Nats in the card. Crazier things have happened. But we have a lot of baseball left. We still got the World Series coming up. And we have on Who-Bangin Talk. Well, of course, we have the lounge on Friday night at 9 o'clock. You have the boss and the sauce. They're always popping around. I forget the times and days, but I'm sure they'll be letting everybody know when they're going to be on. So a lot of stuff going on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel. And with me and Nolly light it up, we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep on trying to pick those totals, pick those unders, get some cash. Hope some people cash their tickets. And before I got to go, Nolly, anything you want to say?
No. I hope I help out, even if you fade me, or maybe if I give you some info, making another pick. Hopefully, we can help somebody out.
That's right. That is key. I say it all the time. For me personally, I listen to a lot of different people, not for their picks. I listen to what they're saying. Sometimes it draws me to a completely different play that they're on, or it draws me something that they say about how they got to the pick is what I'm always looking for. So, information is great, but like you say, if you catch the right guy to fade, if you make as much money as you catch the right guy to tail. As long as we're cashing, we don't care how.
Yeah.
I won't feel bad if you're making money on my bad pick. So, but until we see everybody again, this is Light It Up with Nolly Knows and Don Rici, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.